What is up? What is going on, everybody? I am back with the Mariners post-game recap. Before I get started, I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody new that is subscribed, liking the videos. Again, certainly by my standards, these post-game videos have blown up a bit over the last few days. Can't tell you how much that means to me. Thank you to everybody that is subbed, watching the videos, liking the videos. Truly from the bottom of my heart, it means a lot. I appreciate it. Remember to hit that sub button. I'm trying to get to 2K subs, my next big goal. Don't think that'll happen tonight, but if maybe we can get it to 1,800, I think that is a very realistic goal. This is my second time recording this video. I posted it and the sound wasn't working. I don't know if it was my microphone, my headphones. I don't know what it was that wasn't working, but that was a little bit disappointing because it's about a 20-minute video that I'm having to redo essentially. So let's get into it. The Mariners beat the Padres tonight 6-1. They sweep the mini 2-game series. This team is 10 games over 500. How did that happen? How did we go from all those weeks of like 500, one game under, one game over, one game over, one game under, 500, one game under, one game over, to 10 games over 500? It feels like it just happened in a flash with this team. So, I mean, which is incredible. It does go to show, and while I certainly got negative on this team at times, one thing I always said is if you can hang around 500, you're at least a 7-8 game winning streak from being right back in this thing. That's a winning streak that's not crazy. Oakland's had a 7-game winning streak this year. Now the Mariners have had one. And guess what? They hung around 500 enough, got a couple games over, and now they've rattled off 7 in a row, 8 out of 9, 9 out of 10, whatever it is overall. And all of a sudden, this team is right in the thick of this race. Let's go over the pitching, the hitting, talk a little about the standings, and I'll get out of here. Probably going to be a little bit shorter video just because I'm super disappointed. I had a 20-minute video that I had to redo. I thought Emerson Hancock was just fine today. I didn't think he was amazing. I didn't come out of this game thinking, wow, that was a great start. But weak contact, command control wasn't great. I love that he finished off with a couple strikeouts. That was really cool to see. And that's a good Padres lineup. That is a major league lineup. Bryce Miller, remember, made his major league debut against the Oakland Athletics. That is not a major league lineup. At least it wasn't when he was facing it. This is a lineup that has Ha-Seong Kim, Fernando Tatis, who I know him and Machado not having their best seasons, but still really good hitters. Juan Soto, Xander Bogaerts, Cronenworth can run into one. Cooper's not a bad player. Grisham's a solid player. So you've got a legitimate major league team, and I thought Emerson Hancock did a nice job against them. Not only for a guy making his major league debut, I thought he pitched solid. You got to remember, too, like they're right in the thick of this race. So not only are you looking for Hancock to show signs, you're also asking him to keep you in this ball game and give you a chance to win. This isn't him coming up in August with the team 25 games under, and your only focus is how did Emerson Hancock perform. You want him and need him to perform well, but you're also trying to get that dub. So double kudos to him for that, and congrats to him on making his major league debut with a solid start. How about this bullpen? Just continues to perform without Paul Sewald. It was one of the reasons I was okay with this trade. I thought there was enough guys in here to cover the back end of this pen, and they're getting the job done. Topa, third inning. Now he gave up a hit and a walk, so he wasn't great, but Gabe Spire comes in. Good to see Gabe back in there. Gets a couple crucial outs. I thought Trent Thornton has looked really solid since coming over. I know he gave up that home run on Sunday, but that slurve is a legitimate pitch. He looks like a potential weapon, someone that, can be used in these high leverage situations. Scott is already going to him in high leverage spots. Matt Brash made Tatis look ridiculous on that strikeout in the 8th inning. And Isaiah Campbell, a nice job to finish it up once the offense came alive and scored some more runs here. Listen, the first 7 innings of this game, the story was going to be bad base running and an inability to hit with runners in scoring position. Kind of a theme we talked about in April, May, and June. But this is the new Mariners, the July-August Mariners, and they found a way to come through here and deliver with a 5-run 8th inning, capped off, or not actually started more so, by the 2-run mammoth 450-foot bomb by the big dumper himself, Cal Raleigh, his 19th. He is on fire. A lot of these guys left just hitting really well now, starting to come into their own here. And you're starting to get guys like Teo playing just a little bit better. They haven't been great. We're not going to put their seasons in the Hall of Fame, but man, if you could just get them to like league average, you've got to feel pretty good about what this team can do in August and September. I know everybody was frustrated with the first few innings. I know people were frustrated yesterday with the offense leaving guys on base, but they're getting guys on base. They're getting themselves in good situations to drive in runs. Hugh Darvish is really good. He's going to wiggle out of jams. It's not like you were going up there. It wasn't like I was pitching for the Padres. Hugh Darvish makes his money of being able to wiggle out of those jams. You keep putting guys on, you put the pressure on. Eventually, someone in a pitching staff is going to crack. And today, that was Wilson was the one that cracked, gave up the runs, and the Mariners, they didn't stop. They didn't stop putting pressure on, and it paid off. And then all of a sudden, the eighth inning, what happens? You drive everybody in. So you made up for all those missed opportunities. And that's what happens. Keep putting yourself in that situation. The same thing you teach kids playing sports. Get yourself into a situation where you're, at least worst case is, you're frustrated about not finishing it off. What you don't want is no base runners, uncompetitive at bats. Now, they've had their fair share of those over the course of the season, but the last month or so has been so much better. This is the offense we thought we were getting at the beginning of the year. The offense that isn't the best offense in baseball, no, but it's going to run into some home runs. It's going to work some counts. It's going to have some innings where they just pile on and drive in some runs. Very similar to what we've seen in the 7-game winning streak is sort of the expectations we had for this offense. Not necessarily winning 7 in a row all season, but you know what I mean? Just in terms of the production. Beginning of the year, we were getting great pitching with bad offense that also wasn't clutch. Now you can say it's unlucky. You can say it's on the players, whatever may have you. It just wasn't happening. Now you're getting great pitching with good offense and clutch offense on top of it. So now you're getting like that trifecta. And guess what? You're winning a lot more baseball games here. So hopefully that continues. Yeah, the base running, there was some blunders and stuff early in this game. And again, winning cures all. There's probably been some things I could talk about that have been frustrating. But man, it's hard when this team just keeps rattling off wins. It's just like when the team rattles off losses. It's hard to talk about a lot of the good things because you're so frustrated with the bad stuff. So you forget about some of the dominant pitching performances when they lose. Well, you kind of forget about some of the blunders. And that's the thing. Hey, listen, I can live with that stuff if you make up for it and you win the games. And that's what they are. That's what they're doing. That 8th inning was great. Julio with the walk, Cal, the 2-run home run. I did not think there was any intent to Wilson hitting Teo. Thank goodness it got him on the flap there and he's okay. Stayed in the ball game. I get the Mariners dugout being upset. I would be too. You're protecting your guy. Listen, I said it last year during the brawl with the Angels. I understood Mike Trout's frustration with the pitch being high and tight. My point was just there was no intent. I thought the umpiring crew did a good job. They issued the warning so this doesn't get out of hand. I know we want to see the Mariners get into it and scrap away, but this team cannot afford any suspensions or anything like that. You need all hands on deck here, ready to go. Let's go to the box score, then we'll look at the standings, and I'll get out of here. JP was over 3 with an RBI, hopefully just precautionary. JP coming out. Hopefully it was just, hey, let Demo get the at-bat here. Game's 5-1, 6-1, and then JP will get another day off and hopefully be back on Friday. Dylan Moore, 1 for 1 with an RBI single. No question about it. Dylan Moore needs to be the everyday second baseman. At least 80% of the second base reps need to be for Dylan Moore. I get it. One of Dylan Moore's main strengths is his versatility, and you don't have to take that away. He can still play in other spots, but 893 OPS, a 138, I believe, WRC plus entering tonight. That's going to go up. You need that in the lineup. He needs to be playing 80% of the time. I liked the Josh Rojas addition. I said he was going to be better than Colton Wong. It's only been 14 at-bats, but so far he's been worse than Colton Wong. And Caballero's dropped off. Caballero's fine. He can pinch run. He can create havoc on the base pass. In fact, I think John Boy just had a video on Caballero here recently. But Dylan Moore needs to be getting the at-bats for second base. Julio 0 for 4 with a walk. Gino 2 for 4. Cal 2 for 4 with the 2-run home run. Teo 1 for 3, then reached on the hit by pitch. Mike Ford did have a walk, which you hoped was going to start a rally in the 7th inning. Caballero pinch ran for him, then Canzone pinched hit 0 for 1. Ty 2 for 3. That ringing double was vintage Ty France. Solidly struck into the gap. Great to see. Need more of that big time from Ty. How about Cade Marlowe? 2 for 3, an RBI and a walk, and another hit off a left-handed pitcher in the 8th inning to extend the lead. I don't know what Cade Marlowe is going to become, but so far he's been a very, very useful player. And then Rojas 0 for 4 at the bottom of the lineup. Let's go look at the here. And then I will get you guys out. Congrats to Michael Lorenzen of the Philadelphia Phillies with a no-hitter in his home debut with the Phillies. So that's really cool. Divisional-wise, the Mariners are 5.5 back at Texas, 2 back in the Astros. Listen, keep your eye on it. 5.5 is a lot, but at least you have games left against these teams. You've got 6 or 7 against Texas. You've got 6 or 7 games left against the Astros. So hopefully, listen, you're also 2 losses away here from being kind of knocked out, but you never know. Maybe you sweep Texas in a 3-game series coming up here. Maybe you sweep the Astros again. Or not again, but the 3 out of 4 they took from them. Maybe you do that. Listen, are the odds stacked against them? Yes, and you got to climb 2 teams, but you at least play those teams enough to make it interesting. And a division that I thought was out of reach back in May, June is at least we're at least still talking about it, right? It's at least somewhat in the realm of possibility. Wild card wise, the Mariners are 2 back at Toronto. One thing I want to mention is they're 3.5 back of Houston. We've been talking a lot about Toronto, and rightfully so, but they're 3.5 back of Houston, and you're going to, again, same thing with the division. You're going to play Houston 6 or 7 times. Now, again, that could end up being the worst thing because Houston could beat you. I'm not saying you're going to be guaranteed to beat them, but in a way, you kind of control your own destiny against Houston here. If you can win the couple series against them, you can make up those 3.5 games. It's going to be tough. They're getting healthier. They add Justin Verlander, not going to be easy. But keep an eye on Houston. There's 2 at the second wild card. And I'll even say this. You're 6 behind Tampa Bay, who currently holds the top wild card. Keep an eye on it. Just the Rays losing is not going to hurt the Mariners unless they're playing Toronto. Then maybe you root for the Rays. But just keep an eye on all those things. If this team can keep playing, they're not going to win every game. They're going to lose another game here eventually. But keep playing at this solid pace, and a lot of these things come back into play here. So, and the good news is, too, Boston, the Yankees, and the Angels have really dropped off. So you're almost closer to Houston than Boston is to you. So you've really done a great job, and it's not all the Mariners, some other teams too, of making this a 3-team race here for the wild card. Big series coming up with Baltimore on Friday, another day off. Hopefully it doesn't kill the momentum, but the Monday day off didn't kill the momentum, so this one shouldn't either. Should be a playoff-like atmosphere with the Orioles in town. The Orioles lead the East. Listen, they're 8 up on the Mariners in the wild card if the Orioles fall back, but wouldn't hurt to maybe get a couple games against them. You never know. And like I said, yeah, it should be a playoff type atmosphere. Now, like I said, you have a great team coming in, 2 teams playing really good baseball. Felix Hernandez, Hall of Fame weekend should be a blast. I know the Orioles Twitter and Mariners fans have some issues. I doubt the players give 2 hoots about any of that. But yeah, it should be a really fun weekend series. Should have a playoff atmosphere. Man, if you can take 2 out of 3 from Baltimore, and then you play Kansas City, the White Sox, you never know. The Royals took 2 out of 3 from the Mariners last year in Kansas City. But the schedule does open up a bit for you, a little bit. I can't believe this team is 10 games over 500. It just seems surreal. And it seems like it's just happened so fast. Like, it seems like just a week and a half ago, I was frustrated with this team still sitting at 500. And now here they are 10 games over. Regardless of what happens, regardless of if they get in the playoffs or not, it is just fun to see this team playing better baseball. So no matter what, this has been very, very positive to watch as a fan. It always is. No matter what, you want to see your team play well. It feels better. It's more fun to turn on the game, regardless of what ends up happening. Now, hopefully they do get in. I think they have a really good chance, especially if they keep playing the way they are playing now. But even without it, it's good to see this team play better. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, guys. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night. I will see you guys tomorrow, probably for a little Seahawks chat as they get ready to prepare for their first preseason game tomorrow against the Vikings. So I might come on and talk about that for a little bit tomorrow. So, yeah, hit that subscribe button. Like I said, let's see if we can get to 1,800. Remember to hit the like button. I will see you guys all tomorrow. As always, have a great night. And, of course, go Mariners. Peace.